like Arnavam, the ocean. Tarunam Ramaniyangam Aruno Stetaskanadharam Pranadashrayam Drimnam Saranam Karuna Varam. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Narad Muni continued, the Lord's form is always youthful. Every limb and every part of his body is properly formed, free from defect. His eyes and lips are pinkish like the rising sun. He is always prepared to give shelter to the surrendered soul, and anyone so fortunate as to look upon him feels all satisfaction. The Lord is always worthy to be the master of the surrendered soul, for he is the ocean of mercy. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Everyone has to surrender to someone superior. That is always the nature of our living condition. At the present moment, we are trying to surrender to someone, either to society or to our nation, family, state, or government. The surrendering process already exists, but it is never perfect because the person or institution unto whom we surrender is imperfect, and our surrender, having so many ulterior motives, is also imperfect. As such, in the material world, no one is worthy to accept anyone's surrender, nor does anyone fully surrender to anyone else unless obliged to do so. But here the surrendering process is voluntary, and the Lord is worthy to accept the surrender. This surrender by the living entity occurs automatically as soon as he sees the beautiful, youthful nature of the Lord. The description given by Narad Muni is not imaginary. The form of the Lord is understood by the Parampara system. Mayavadi philosophers say that we have to imagine the form of the Lord. But here Narad Muni doesn't say that. Rather, he gives the description of the Lord from authoritative sources. He is himself an authority, and he is able to go to Vaikuntha Loka and see the Lord personally. Therefore, his description of the bodily features of the Lord is not an imagination. Sometimes we give instruction to our students about the bodily features of the Lord, and they paint him. Their paintings are not imaginary. The description is given through disciplic succession, just like what that given by Narad Muni, who sees the Lord and describes his bodily features. Therefore, such descriptions should be accepted, and if they are painted, that is not imaginative painting. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागररघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सागरललिता श्रीविशाखाभितं च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धु वच पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमो. Thank you so much for joining this wonderful Sangha. And what a words to ponder on this Wednesday, just before the long weekend, giving us a dose about a beautiful dose, a remembrance of Lord's beauty and Lord's characters. So there are two things which is so nicely explained by Narad Muni to Dhruva Maharaj. Is telling to Dhruva Maharaj about the beauty, explaining about the beauty of the Lord, and also he's explaining about the character of the Lord. Okay, so what is the beauty aspects? He is explaining to Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj has gone to the forest. Narad Muni meets him in the past verse and verses. Narad Muni is glorifying the beauty of the Lord about his face and other attributes. But in this verse specifically, Lord is being described by Narad Muni about two aspects, beauty and character. So, on the aspect of beauty, Narad Muni says, Tarunam. Tarunam means the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always youthful. As you know, Lord exhibited uh, four kinds of pastime between 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, and 15 to 20 in his youth. And these four, when he did the Damodar Lila, he was between 0 to 5. And when he did the Govardhan Lila, lifting the Govardhan on his left pinky, not just for 7 days, he was 7 years old. So he was between 5 to 10. And then he went on to Kangsa's assembly and killed Chanura, and Mustika, and the entire pastime. And he was 10 to 15. And after that, he exhibits another prominent pastime, 15 to 20. So he exhibits different kinds of pastimes at different levels of youth. And these levels of youthful pastimes are imprinted in our consciousness. And that, when is thought about, when Satyabrat Muni thinks about the Lord, he thinks about that full Damodar pastime, 0 to 5. Then when devotees think about the Govardhan Lila, the one of the brightest pastimes of the Lord, to keep the honor of his devotees, he stands and lifts the heaviest mountain you can ever think of and stands there for 7 days, 7 nights. He is exhibiting that youthful pastime. Never ever we have seen Krishna who is not youthful. He is always youthful. And that is what Narad Muni explaining. Tarunam, youthful. Ramanyam. Ramanyam means it's always attractive. Krishna, the name, means Akarshayati Krishna. One who attracts. One who attracts. So here, the second beauty aspect, after being youthful, we have never seen a older face of Krishna, because Krishna is always youthful, is always young, is and then he, wherever he is, he attracts like a Cupid. Even Cupid, who attracts everything, is attracted to Krishna. So he is referred as Madan Mohan because he attracts the Cupid. Even if everybody gets attracted to Cupid, but Krishna is attracted by Cupid himself. So he's very attractive. And and the features of the body is explained here. Angam, all parts of the body. And here the lotus feet and eyes are referred. And how they look? They look like Arunostha. Arunostha means the color of the rising sun. Aruna means sun. Arunostha means like the like how when the sun rises and sun falls. When you when the sun is at 12 o'clock pounding on you, you don't feel like looking at the sun in the eyes. And now some countries where it is a depletion of ultraviolet radiations because of the depletion of ozone layer, they say don't even look at the sun. It's full of. But when the sun is in the morning, after some time, you can step out and look. You can look at the sun forever. Likewise, when sun sets during the dawn and dusk, you can look at the sun forever. And sun gives you so many nutrients, including vitamin D and so on and so forth. But the point is, Krishna's eyes are like the lips, like how the sun rises and the sun sets, exactly like that. So beautiful, so soothing to look at forever and ever and ever. And Ikshanadharam. Then sometimes what happens is we have eyes, one eye is one kind, another eye is another kind. Our right side of the hand of one type and left hand is another type, then often not symmetrical. But here, Narad Muni is explaining. Narad Muni has access to the Lord all the time. He is the transcendental space, as Srila Prabhupada says. So whenever he goes around to see the Lord, he sees a symmetric nature of the Lord in terms of both the eyes, in terms of both the limbs. So here the question becomes, Krishna, who is Lord Jagannath himself, doesn't have hands and legs. And here Narad Muni is saying he is most symmetric and he is most complete. But here, Krishna, in the form of Lord Jagannath, who is incomplete, his hands are not protrude out and the legs have not protrude out. So how is he? And our acharyas mentioned, even in that form of Krishna as Lord Jagannath, Lord Krishna is the most complete. So even in the incompletest form of the Lord, he is so complete that Narad Muni, when he sees Lord Jagannath in the Dwapar Leela with Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, awestruck when he is hearing the pastime of himself in Vrindavan, long time back, uttered by Rohini Mata, is getting awestruck and his hands shrink and with the Mahabhav he has. And that's the reason why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came to see Lord Jagannath in Jagannath Puri, he was awestruck and he never left technically. 24 years of his sannyas life, 18 years he spent in Jagannath Puri, serving and relishing the beautiful darshan of Lord Jagannath. Most complete, eyes, limbs, most complete. There is no one who is more complete than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And these are the beauty aspects of the Lord. So, what are the beauty aspects of the Lord, which Narad Muni explains in these words? Youthful. He is never old. He is always young. We have never seen a older picture of Lord Krishna with gray hair and a wrinkled face, because Krishna, when he was running the chariot of Arjuna in Kurukshetra, he was around 800 years and he was ever youthful, even in that 100-year charioteer posture, ever youthful. So, always youthful, and that is what we should always imbibe in our mind. And he is very attractive, youthful, attractive, and his bodies are symmetrical. His all parts of the bodies are symmetrical, not unis bis, or here there is some uh, drawback, here there is some problem. There's nothing like that. Fully symmetrical, and his eyes are like the pinkish color of the rising and descending sun in the morning and in the evening. Very soothing to the eyes. These are the beauty aspects of the Lord, which is described by Narad Muni in this verse to Dhruva Maharaj. Then Narad Muni explains about the character of the Lord. What is the character of the Lord? What are the attributes of a character? Truthfulness. The character of the Lord uh, is uh, is is someone, and that aspect which is so nicely explained here is the ability for anybody who sees the Lord to surrender himself to the Lord. So, on the aspect of character, there are four things which are mentioned by Narad Muni here. One is pranata. Pranata means one who is surrendered. So, whenever we try to follow some orders of our superior, whether it is in our job or it's in our different positions, often the ability to surrender and the ability for the person who is taking the surrender is driven by ulterior motives, as Srila Prabhupada is saying in the purport. So I'll just give an example that when you basically take the prasadam, you often take prasadam, and often from that plate, nobody else eats because you have already made jhuta to the prasadam. But in Jagannath Puri, when you take prasadam from a plate, and from that plate, five other people can take prasadam without you having the audacity and power to make the prasad jhuta. Because Jagannath's prasad is so powerful. Jagannath Prasad is so powerful that you do not have the audacity or power to make the prasad jhuta because it's so auspicious, it's so prominent. So, likewise, there is no one who is the ultimate situation of surrender. Often you'll see, the wife surrendering to husband, husband surrendering to wife, the subordinate surrendering to the boss, and the boss surrendering to his board of directors. And these surrenders are often not foolproof because it is based on self ulterior motive, as La Prabhupada uses the word ulterior motive. And the person who is surrendering doesn't have that much of awe and reverence for the to the person he or she is surrendering to. And likewise, the person who is taking the surrender doesn't have the quality, the knowledge to really give surrender to someone who is subordinate. So he is being mentioned here as pranata, that he is such the character of Krishna or the Supreme Personality of Godhead is so high that he is worshipable, he is surrenderable, he is, and the second thing Narad Muni mentions is Ashrayanam. That means he is the shelter of the surrendered. And he is Nirmanam, transcendently pleasing. Always his activities, his behavior, his ability is pleasing. Whenever Krishna is playing with Subala, for example, Subala is one of the more powerful of the Gopa boys. He will sometime lose from Subala, and Subala, as a wrestler, will go out and be. So, Krishna's defeat in this case is heralded, is liked by the cowherd boys in such a way. And when Lord Krishna takes food from someone else's plate, this is exactly where Narad Muni got confused. Sorry, Brahmaji got confused, which resulted in the Brahma Mohan Lila. That how come this person who is the Supreme Personality of God, like a kid, he's taking juta from somebody else's plate and everybody is so happy? He can't be the Supreme Person. This question, came to this to the mind. So whenever Lord Krishna is losing, whenever Lord Krishna is stealing, there will be gopis, our Acharya says, there will be gopis who will be putting their clothes and they will be waiting behind to see Krishna steal so that they derive pleasure. So, ability for someone to see beyond the pastime of someone who, when he is stealing, is giving pleasure. This can only be understood by a devotee. This will never be understood by a common person as to how come somebody who wants the Lord to steal and gain enjoyment from that. This is the topmost form of bhava and bhakti or love for the Supreme. Because Lord's transcendental activities are very pleasing to everyone. Here, Subala, who is defeating, is happy, and sometimes Lord Krishna will go and, as the first expansion of him, Lord Balram, he is going to massage the feet of Lord Balram with so much of love. And then Narad Muni explains one or two things about Saranyam, person unto whom it is just worthy to surrender, and Karuna is mercy. Lord Krishna, in his form, is so merciful that the size of the mercy is like an ocean. That's why Lord Krishna is referred as the ocean of mercy, or Lord Jagannath, like Krishna, is referred as ocean of mercy. So here, Lord Krishna is stealing. Lord Krishna is is uh, is stealing the clothes of the gopis. In the wrestling match with Subala, he is losing, and at the same time, the same person who cannot win against Subala, who is taking morsels of food from his friend in a playful manner, the same person lifts the heaviest hill for 7 days, 7 nights in his left pinky. These things can only be understood by a devotee, by a surrendered soul. These beautiful aspects of the Lord can be understood by the the fascination of a devotee with the right consciousness. So this is where there are, as they say, Vishnu has 60 qualities to the full, and some of the other qualities are not in full, and that's where Krishna exhibits four characteristics which Vishnu doesn't possess. That is Rupa Madhuri. That means with the beauty he can attract. When Krishna's beauty as such that people yearn that someday Krishna will steal from me. He's so attractive. And sometimes when he dances on the hoods of Kalia just to detoxify him, not to kill him actually, just to detoxify him, the dance, when Lord dances to thrill, to take out the poison and the proudiness of Kalia, that dance itself is so pleasing to his eye, a little boy dancing on the poisonous hood of the most poisonous snake of Yamuna, and then slowly detoxifying it, and how the same person he didn't kill, he just dances to thrill, and that Rupa Madhuri is seeing him, seeing his appearance, seeing his beauty. Then Lord Krishna exhibits the second characteristic, which is not possessed in full by Vishnu, is Guna Madhuri. His, his guna, his activities, his ability to see pain in someone and pacify him, his qualities, his guna. Then the third quality which Krishna has, which Vishnu doesn't, is his ability to do Venu Madhuri. That means through the flute, just the appearance of the flute, the singing of the flute, the music of the flute, Venu, he attracts. He attracts Rupa Madhuri by his appearance, Guna Madhuri, his activities, Guna. Guna means uh, his, 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 his behavior, his day-to-day dealings. Third is Venu Madhuri, his Bansi, which uh, exhibits beautiful musical tones, which attracts peacocks to come and dance, gopas and gopis to watch him play. And when Lord Krishna goes to herd the cows, it becomes very attractive for all the Gopavasis to come and see the exchanges happening between Krishna and cow, how Krishna loves the guna of Krishna, to how he loves the cows and calves. And that is a treat to watch by the Vrajvasis through the flute. And the fourth one is Leela Madhuri. Through these beautiful Leelas, we touched on Damodar Leela, his beautiful pastime where Lord is reaching out to somewhere, and Mother Yashoda feels that Krishna, who should be giving importance to her and taking her milk, but instead Lord Krishna is crawling out, and where the chastisement happens, that itself is so beautiful, is imprinted in everyone's eyes through the month of the Kartik Leela, which all of us celebrated. Likewise, the Govardhan Leela, which we all celebrated, and so many countless Leelas, the Kalia dancing pastime, and so and so forth. These Leelas have a message to all of us to ponder and be. And these are the four characteristics. And then youthful, always youthful, never ever seen a non youthful face of Krishna, always. And his limbs are symmetric, his lips and eyes are like the reddish, pinkish hue, like, and he is the shelter of the surrender with which the person has to be so much qualitative. It has to be so much powerful that if you surrender, you're confident that you have nothing to lose out. You have no self to really, uh, you know, compensate, and always transcendently pleasing. And he is worthy of surrender, and he is the ocean of mercy. So, two of Krishna's aspects are so nicely explained, the beauty and the character of Krishna. And if we want to take the next step of m- remembering the beauty and character of Krishna and spend some of our upcoming days, upcoming days can be holidays for some of you, it'll be a wonderful experience to merge and be conscious of Krishna. So, with that, I'd like to end here. Thank you so much for your attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. We'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead, and we'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare.
Shri Nrsingo, Jai Nrsingo, Jai Jai Nrsingo, Praladesha, Jaya Padma Maka Padma Bringa, Mugravira Mahavishnu,
Ugraviram
Jalantam
Mahavishnu
Sarvatomukam,
Jalantam
Jalantam
Sarvamukam
Sarvatomukha, Nrsingham
Nrsinga
Nrsimham
Bhushan
Bhushanam
Bhushan
Bhadram
Bhadrama,
Bhadram
Mrityu
Mrityum
Mrityu
Namamu.
Mrityu
Namami.
Namami.
Nrsinga Bhagwan ki Jai, Prahlad
Jai,
Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai.
Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the Samar Vaishnavas, Vanchakalpatarubhayascha Kripa
Vanchakalpatarubhasya
Sindhu
Kripasindhuvasya
Devacha Patitanam
Patitanam
Pavanebhyo
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 Vaishnavebhyo Namo
Vaishnavebhyo Namo
Namaha
Namah.
Vaishnavinda ki Jai
Jai,
ग्रंथ श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय श्रील
Jai,
प्रभुपाद की जय
Jai.
और प्रेमानंदे
Hari Hari Hari
हरि
Bol.
बोल।
Thank you everybody. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.